Hey guys, I'm Christian. That's Chris with a K, no H. I was 306 pounds on January 1st, 2015. On January 1st, 2016, I weighed in at 206 pounds. I'm making this video to talk about what I did to lose the weight, because I keep getting asked how I did it. Before I get into those rules, I want to clarify that I'm not an expert. I am not a personal trainer. I am not a nutritionist, nor am I a health expert in any capacity. That being said, I strongly recommend that you check with your doctor before you start any new diet or workout plan. I also strongly recommend that you take what I say and incorporate parts of it into your workout, into your diet. You feel free to throw anything out that you don't like or you don't agree with, but make it your own. Modify it, adjust it. If you want to do everything I say, do everything I say. But it's all about how this is going to affect you and how it's going to help you. And that's my end goal. That's my whole goal. On to the content. So I followed 5 easy steps. Think of them as guidelines. Step 1, design a plan that starts off slow and ramps up in diet severity and workout intensity. Keep your effort nice and slow. Really got to focus on that gradual progression. It took a long time for you to put on that weight. It's going to take a while to get it off. A plan of an ideal weight loss of about 1 to 2 pounds a week. That's healthy. That's, what you read everywhere. But it doesn't mean you're going to hit that. If you're morbidly obese like I was, 2 pounds a week is possible, healthy, and more than, easy to do. But any more than this 2 pounds a week probably means you're either not eating enough or you're working out too hard and you risk burning out or possibly even going into starvation mode, which is a thing. Yeah. Step 2. If it's white, it's not alright. This will help you remember what foods are most important to cut out, or to cut back, rather. You don't want to completely cut out anything, but cutting back is usually advised. Carbohydrates, most starches, or many starches, and sugar. Those are the big ones. Sugar is a ton of empty calories. Carbs and starches very easily turn into fat. Please really pay attention to the fact that I said cut back, not cut out. I'm not about to give you exact servings, but I do know that I had minimum of one serving of carbohydrates every day during my weight loss journey. I had a bagel in the morning, every morning. And I actually probably had more than that because I also had usually about a tablespoon of rice. So, with dinner. Step 3, no snacking. This is mandatory. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Snacking throughout the day is a disaster. It's a recipe for complete and utter failure. It's the easiest way to lose track of how much you've actually eaten throughout the day. Plus, most snacks aren't even that filling, and they just leave you wanting more, and it's easy to lose track of what you actually ate and how much you ate of it, and you run into problems. It makes controlling your potential food binge into a more likely loss of control. Step 4, exercise. Specifically for weight loss, we're probably going to be talking about cardiovascular exercise. Although high intensity interval training is a really great thing. It's, HIIT, it's pretty awesome. Weightlifting really does work as well. I did a mixture of cardio and weightlifting, but most of the time people want the immediate instant gratification, and for some reason people think that if they're sweaty or really out of breath, they've lost weight somehow they equate those two things. Um, I don't know. Weightlifting allows you to increase your muscle mass, and muscle is more metabolically active than fat, since fat is just energy storage, and muscle uses energy. So you actually wind up using more and more energy throughout the day just by existing and maintaining your muscles if you have more of them, or if you have larger muscles rather. So that's why weightlifting is a good thing. But if you don't want to weightlift, fine, do some cardio, maybe do some HIIT. If you don't want to do HIIT, just do some cardio. If you don't want to do cardio, you pick one of the other ones. Make it work. Technically speaking, there's a couple of studies that were done. I don't really have the links for them, but head-to-head, HIIT does burn more calories than cardio, but only by a little bit. And weightlifting is not far behind, as long as it's at comparable intensities. Yeah, for my personal journey, I did 35 minutes of cardio followed by 25 minutes of weightlifting every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and weekends. So my only days off were Tuesday and Thursday. That's aside from the dieting that was 100% of the time. Step 5, accountability. Let's be honest here. Your willpower isn't strong. You wouldn't have clicked on this link if you didn't need to lose weight. And if you need to lose weight, there's a really good chance it's because your willpower isn't as strong as it should be or could be. That being said, you've got to accept the fact that your willpower is not what your ego says it is. Which means your motivation to lose weight is only going to take you so far. You're only going to get 1 or 2 weeks in, maybe a month tops, before you burn out, before you get tired, before you cheat, you have a bad day, you break your diet, you break your exercise routine, and boom. No more. You're done. Messed up, it was too hard, you didn't lose enough weight in that 1 week, you still look the same, oh well, you're giving up. And it's probably happened to you before. My way to combat that was accountability. I told all my loved ones, I told my friends, my family, my coworkers, I told everybody what I was doing, what my plan was, very specifically what I was achieving and aiming to achieve. I told them what my weight was, I told them what my goal weight was, and I basically told as many people and reminded them continuously until they were all sick and tired of me. And what that does is it makes them want payback, right? Like they got tired of you talking about it, but they're gonna be polite. They're gonna be like, all right, you're telling me again, all right. So then when you cheat, you get that slice of pizza. Maybe they won't say anything, but you get up and get back online to go get a second slice of pizza. That coworker you're hanging out with, they're gonna be like, you're gonna go for a second slice? Aren't you on this health craze? Boom, you got reminded. You got called out. More than likely, they're not going to call you out on a minor cheat or a minor break or a minor little thing. Like the first slice of pizza. Alright, you had a cheat meal. It happens. But then you were going to overindulge, and that's where your loved one stepped in. That's where your coworker stepped in. That's where your friend or your mom or your dad or your whoever, that's where they stepped in and they helped you out. Now, let's make sure we're clear on this. That's not fat shaming. It's not fat shaming because you're inviting this. The reason you're telling them your goals, the reason you're opening this up is because you're trying to give yourself a second option so that your willpower isn't the only thing you have to rely on. If you don't want to do this, like I said, you don't have to. There's no one forcing you. You clicked on this link because you were interested in trying to lose weight. And I'm telling you how I did it. And sometimes it doesn't feel so great to be kind of called out for your lapses in judgment or for your mistakes. It doesn't feel good at all, and you feel like, oh, how dare they? well, you know what? You're not going to want to get called out again. Social motivators are pretty powerful, just statistically speaking. Use them to your advantage. Trick yourself. Use whatever you can. If you want to lose weight and it's serious to you, do what you need to do. A little bit of discomfort at one point. It's just like working out. It's not fun to feel that muscle burn, but you get used to it, and eventually it actually starts to kind of feel good because you know that it's progress. You know that it is something in the works. So those are my steps. You really have to embrace the fact that it's not fat shaming. It's not fat shaming because you are asking them to help you. You might not have to ask them directly because maybe they just don't want to help you. Maybe you're too embarrassed to ask for help. Maybe you just got to the step where you told them and that's it. That's all as far as you can get. That's fine. Because socially, they're kind of gonna do it anyway. It's gonna happen. But you've just prepared yourself for it. You know it's coming because you know that you're not going to be perfect. Your diet is not going to be perfect. Your workouts aren't going to be perfect. But you don't want to give up just because you mess up a couple times. You don't want to stop just because you had one bad day. This is the kind of thing that'll kind of help you out with that. Help you get back on track when you've lost your motivation because you just got discouraged at your own failures. Which is, at least in the way I look at it, the reason for a lot of people having messed up their diets and workout plans prior. Ultimate disclaimer here. Blame of why you have excess weight, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have the weight because of a medical condition. It doesn't matter if you have the weight because you got pregnant and weren't able to burn off all that extra weight. Maybe you have a thyroid condition. Maybe you can be real and, maybe you know deep down that you just kind of just don't like to do anything. You like to sit at home and watch TV and eat potato chips. And all right, it can contribute to obesity. But your past doesn't have to dictate your future. You don't necessarily have to be who you were. You decide who you are every moment of every day. Every choice you make decides who you are. Just because you made poor decisions in the past, just because you accepted a certain life condition or lifestyle in the past, doesn't mean that this is the only thing you have now. You took one step, you clicked on this video, you listened to what I had to say, you got this far in the video. Maybe you can do the next step. Tune in. Next week, Friday, 9 o'clock. The next video will be up, and I can tell you a little bit more, go a little more into depth about each of my different steps. See you next week.